and on the floor of the House right now. Just as you did in the case where I intended to move a motion to impeach the Republican President, Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. For ease of reference, my court is in the Constitutional Court of Zambia. This is dated 18th March 2020, holding at Lusaka, Constitutional Jurisdiction, in the matter of Part 1, Article 2 of the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act Number 2 of 2016, in the matter of Article 63, which is the most relevant article in this particular matter because it deals with the authority of the Minister of Finance or the executive to borrow without due permission, as the Constitution says, from this House. It reads, in the matter of Part 16 of the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act Number 2 of 2016, in the matter of Article 177, Sub 5 of the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act Number 2 of 2016, in the matter of the Loans and Guarantees Authorization Act, Chapter 366 of the Laws of Zambia, and in the matter of public borrowing by the government of the Republic of Zambia. I've already mentioned the petitioners and the respondent. However, for me to conclude, I'll just take a part of the issues that are in the petition. Fifthly, the petitioner shall say that as a Zambian citizen and a taxpayer, he is affected directly by any debt that the first and second respondents authorize and sign on behalf of the government of the Republic of Zambia, and as such, he has requisite standing to bring this claim before the court. The petitioner shall also say that Article 2 under Part 1 of the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act Number 2 of 2016, recognizes the right and duty of every citizen or every person to defend the Constitution and resist or prevent the overthrow, suspension, or illegal abrogation of the Constitution of Zambia. I read in part, Mr. Speaker, would this House therefore be in order to continue to deal forthwith with the issue of Bill 10, which contains this particular article that I've quoted in this document from court. It is my prayer that in your ruling, after you have studied the matter, you, like you've done before, halt the proceedings on the Constitution of Zambia Amendment Bill number 10 until this matter is disposed of in the courts of law. I was communicated to by the office of the clerk, not yourself, sir, that the matter is now in court. And therefore, you could not proceed. End of quote. In my immediate response to the point of order, I stated that I had not had sight of the process that the Honorable Member referred to. I felt that to commence considering, I would stand down the wish to state that those founded on parliamentary practice and procedure that I need to further study to enable me render a measured response. I require more time to ponder over the point of order. Further, before business was suspended, Honorable M. Schone MP, Minister for Mchinga Province, raised the following point of order, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to raise this serious point of order? Is this House in order to continue sitting when today we in government and the nation watch the Honorable Minister of Health addressing the nation over the coronavirus situation which has hit the globe? Are we in order to continue sitting amidst the scare that is there, and also the possibility that the virus can easily spread amongst honorable members? In a statutory instrument, an honorable Minister of Health mentioned that for any gathering of more than 50 people, definitely chances are high to catch the virus. Mr. Speaker, I need your urgent and serious ruling. End of quote. Similarly, yesterday, on Tuesday, 17th March 2020, Honorable J.J. Mwimbu, Leader of the Opposition and Member of Parliament for Moses Central Parliamentary Constituency, raised the following point of order. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, thank you for allowing me to raise a very serious point of order. Sir, I'm aware that Honorable Minister of Health has issued statutory instrument number 21 and number 22 of 2020 pertaining to the outbreak of the coronavirus. He has further issued instructions that members of the public should ensure that they are 1 to 2 meters apart in their interactions. Mr. Speaker, as a citizen of the Republic of Zambia who does not want the coronavirus to spread, I would like to find out whether this House is in order to allow us to break the instructions which have been given by the Honorable Minister of Health to be 1 to 2 meters apart in all interactions. In this House, we are only centimeters apart, thereby breaking this particular instruction. What precedent are we setting for the public? If we are in the forefront of breaking the laws pertaining to the coronavirus, are we in order to continue sitting as honorable members of Parliament, contrary to the instructions from the Honorable Minister of Health? End of quote. In response to the point of order by Honorable J.J. Mwimbu MP, I indicated the importance of the point of order and its implications in light of the recent developments made to combat the coronavirus, and reserved my ruling. As regards the point of order by Honorable Minister from Chinga Province, I indicated in my response that it would become apparent later in the day what measures had been taken to address the issue of the coronavirus, which was the subject of his point of order. Honorable members, following consultations with relevant public and the Vice President, I order the Vice President just a minute for people to settle down. Order. I honor the
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with Standing Orders 33-1 of the National Assembly Standing Orders 2016, and in view of the coronavirus,
that in accordance with and in view of the coronavirus pandemic, the House do now adjourn sine die.
Mr. Speaker, on 13th March 2020, the Minister of Health issued two statutory instrument numbers 21 and 22, restricting public mass gatherings and mandating social distancing in order to prevent the coronavirus infections in the country. In this regard, all organizations and institutions within the country have been directed to reschedule public events or use technology to advance their agenda. In addition, all schools, including primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, have been ordered to close by Friday, 20th March 2020. Mr. Speaker, members of this House are not immune to the virus. It is therefore important that the House adjourns in accordance with the directives of the Ministry of Health and the law. Sir, this is a straightforward motion, and I request the House to support it. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.
The Honorable Leader of Opposition. You raise the point of order, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, procedurally, when a ruling by the Speaker is made, I can't debate it.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity to debate in support of the motion to suspend proceedings of the House in view of the grave threat Zambia faces today of the COVID-19 outbreak. Mr. Speaker, this morning, Zambia reported 2 laboratory-confirmed cases of COVID-19 in 2 members of a 4-member family, and this, Mr. Speaker, involved a couple that traveled to France with their 2 children on a 10-day holiday, and they returned to Zambia on Sunday. Mr. Speaker, having passed through the international airport and having filled in the travel forms, our alert surveillance staff did notice that this couple and their 2 children passed through France, which has recorded many cases of COVID-19. They were therefore quarantined in their own space. Mr. Speaker, 24 hours later, the alert surveillance staff did make a follow-up to check on the 4 members of this family, and they did discover that the father, or rather the husband, developed some symptoms that included a fever and a flu, while the rest of the family remained asymptomatic. Mr. Speaker, we did admit these patients to our isolation center and conducted tests and discovered that 2 of them tested positive. Mr. Speaker, in line with the statutory instruments that we have signed as Minister of Health in order to enforce or to escalate the response, we have amongst the interventions restricted public gatherings. Mr. Speaker, Parliament in its current sitting is one such public gathering. And Mr. Speaker, it is important that we lead by example by showing the public that we will not gather in a manner we discourage them in line with the statutory instrument that we have issued as government. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia pitches public health security as high priority and therefore has escalated measures to protect the public. I therefore support the motion to suspend business in the House so that we can allow members of Parliament to retreat to their constituencies and provide leadership in enforcing statutory instrument 21 and 22 so that we protect the public from the scourge. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.
Honourable Vice President.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the honourable members for the overwhelming support. However, I urge honourable members to be cautious and also to engage their constituencies to ensure that we observe the rules prescribed by the Ministry of Health so that we keep healthy. This disease does not kill straight away, but there are certain precautions that we should take to protect ourselves, to protect our families. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
I put a question. The question is that in accordance with Standing Order 33-1 of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2016, and in view of the coronavirus pandemic, the House do now adjourn sine die. As many as are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. Or the contrary, say no. The ayes have it. The question has been resolved in the affirmative. Honour the Vice President.
Sir, I beg to move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is that the House do now adjourn. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House? Is now adjourned sine die.
Still giving you live updates here at Parliament, and what you have just been watching is a ruling of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Patrick Matibini, as regards the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 10. There were 2 points of orders that were raised, one from Mazabuka Central Member of Parliament, Gary NKOMBO, and another one from Mchinga Province Member of Parliament. Now, the Speaker through the Vice President has decided to adjourn Parliament and CDN. I will, of course, get a reaction from Mazabuka Central Member of Parliament, Gary NKOMBO, just to find out how he feels that the Speaker has not suspended or has adjourned